I would like to ask you to introduce yourself, Maria.
Yeah, I'm Maria Anselmi. I'm currently Chief Data Officer for Bisnode Dun & Bradstreet. We are a data and analytics solution provider, and we are active in particular in the area of risk, credit, and marketing. This is the business official site. I've been in the digital world ever since in my career, and I've grown with it. So in my life, I've been driving businesses, and I've been living in many different countries and working for many different companies. So I'm now located in Switzerland, and it's my 4th year in the Swiss market. But I'm responsible in my company for the international business, so I'm responsible for the European operations in data and analytics.
What exactly can I understand about data and risk management, especially in your business?
When you asked me to talk about uncertainty, I said, "Oh, this is a very good topic," because culturally, in our organization, uncertainty is the best business driver. Meaning, yeah, of course, it is. Because what we do is we create analytics and data-driven decision mechanism. So we try to collect as much data as possible that can help our partners or our customers either to hedge their business risk or to laser focus where the opportunities stand. So culturally speaking, we are trying to navigate the area of uncertainty also in moments in which the market is more stable than it is now. So we are always trying to dig out what are the area of uncertainty, even in more stable environments. For us, uncertainty is a normal state, culturally speaking. And also as a company, we are culturally set up to work with uncertainty. So you could say that we are uncertainty specialists in one sense. Yeah. This said, it is always a different kind of feeling when you professionally try to handle a business risk, and when you leave yourself in an extremely uncertain situation, a market situation. It is, of course, somehow different what we do and what we feel today in the market.
So if I understand you right, you're then more or less actively looking for uncertainty. Or...
We are actively looking for uncertainty, and whenever there is not, we try to create this uncertainty or to highlight that the certainty is an illusion, always an illusion.
It's a great explanation. I think it's more highlight that it's an illusion and not create uncertainty. I think it's
absolutely
create the illusion of certainty.
Yeah, we are not creating, not even, and when you work in analytics, you always work in probability. You never work with certainty. You always evaluate what is the probability that something is going to happen. So also our cultural approach to handle uncertainty, it's not to highlight a certainty, but to make uncertainty, to limit the scope of uncertainty to a series of probabilities.
But we humans don't really know how to work with uncertainty. We don't know how to work with probabilities because a lot of people are more afraid, for example, of flying than of a car accident. But as far as I think, I'm also more the technical person here, and he's the designer. For me, it's obviously not the case that flying is more dangerous than car traffic, because I think cars are much more risky,
Yeah.
if I may say
From
so.
a statistical point of view, I would say that you're absolutely right.
Okay. Do you have then special processes or the mental models you use to look for uncertainty or to pinpoint it?
Yeah, as I said, we have got in our company, we have this professional, you could say, deformation of looking at uncertainty as the normal state, and to challenge people that think that everything that we see and that the way we are working, the way we are behaving, the way we are evaluating our business today is true and will be true for a certain period of time. So we do it as we have got the methodological challenge on that. Our company has also inserted into our cultural, into our value set, a value that for me is very important, and is continuous curiosity. And here there is the idea of continuous curiosity is the idea of continuously trying to discover something more and something different. And how we have embedded this value into our company is starting a very profound program of continuous improvement. Having a continuous improvement program in whatever area of our business puts the people that are involved in the mindset that to challenge whatever they are doing and the way they are doing it today, and put them in the situation and the conditions of thinking that it can be done better, or it can be done differently than today. So in a way, they are pushed to break the certainty. They are pushed to break the routine, to find something that could potentially work better. So, and this is, I think it's a very, very profound cultural imprinting that our company is giving to us, more than any theoretical way of thinking. So, and I think that this idea of continuous improvement is the core of what we bring also out in the market. How can you tackle things that you're doing better, or how can you tackle things that you are doing in a different way? How can we hunt unfulfilled needs? How can we hunt areas that people don't see that could be challenging, that could be problematic? So we are, in a way, uncertainty hunters in this respect.
Where how I see most people is they're just trying to stick to the past. What happened in the past will repeat again. And all of a sudden, like in Corona, they wake up and see, oh, everything is different.
Exactly. I mean, from if you want, from a psychological perspective, there are so many literature, so many fantastic psychologists, so many fantastic coaches that can teach us how to live in the now, and that can very well explain and also make us feel how the only moment that is true is the moment in which we live, because the past is gone and the future is not yet there. So, and this is a, yeah, and this is a very important dimension when we, at least when we deal on a personal basis, is a very important dimension to limit to limit psychologically our exposure to uncertainty. If only the present moment is real, it's something that we can handle. It's something that we can determine. So that is a very powerful mindset, I think, to manage uncertainty on a personal level. On a business way, corporates need to have a certain stability. And so they cannot challenge possibly every day or every moment what is happening. But I have not heard in the last 30 years in which I'm working, not including in its business planning, that the environment is changing and the environment is posing new challenges to the organization. So also in all the business world, there is, at least theoretically speaking, this idea of uncertainty. What is unprecedented today is that we cannot handle it personally. I mean, in an earthquake, we dig out people from the ruins and we rebuild buildings all together. We make a group, and also this community sense is something that fosters us to overcome the difficulty. What is unprecedented today is that our fears are sterilized. We are leaving, let's say, our business and our private work in an almost sterilized way, in our microcosm of our home, in some cases of our families. So we cannot create this stronger connection to the rest of the community. We cannot create so easily this team feeling that makes us feel a little bit stronger, understood, with at least some concrete connection that can help us navigate the difficulties. I think that today, this is exactly what companies are hunting in terms of stability. How can we make feel our people secure, connected and supported? And how can we make our business navigate this uncertainty as if it were a normal change, as if it were some kind of a change, recurring to all traditional medium that we have to avoid the risk or to reproduce in the virtual space what we have always normally done in analogic or in a physical space.
Usually the people I see which are open to uncertainty and opening to a more risky environment have themselves enough confidence or believe in themselves that it's going to be okay even if things change. And the opposite I also often see, if you don't want to expose yourself to that risk, with all the technology and all the media that we have, it's actually pretty easy to bury yourself in your own bubble and not see what you don't want to see.
From a personal perspective, I think that if you embrace change as a normal dimension, you will experience a lot of positive emotions. Imagine if we were not thinking, if we had not faith in change, how dreadful would it be to think that we are in this situation and this will be like that forever? So if you embrace change as a normal way of living, you also open up to infinite possibilities, and infinite possibilities and infinite possibility to choose from moment to moment. Embracing change is not an act of courage, I would say. It's an act of self-protection more.
That's very wise.
Yeah.
What I would like to ask you is there a way perhaps to train on a personal level to embrace this change?
I think that one important thing is to practice that. For example, in our company, the idea of continuous improvement, the idea that we constantly change is in the facts. You can continuously innovate, you can continuously do things in a different way. You are continuously prompted to investigate something new. So it's like a habit. It's an idea that is created into a program, which is continuous improvement program. And the continuous improvement program prompt you on a daily basis to look for something different or to change and try to do it in a different way. So what is it? It is a continuous training, is a continuous mental drill to challenge what you have got in front of you. And when I say repetition or making this become a habit, I think that is like when you're trying to lose weight. I mean, you have to change the way you eat. Otherwise, you will not change weight, you will not lose weight if you just start thinking in a different way. So you have to practice to input these elements of change in every single moment of your life and of your working life.
So why I'm asking is actually goes in the same direction as Alan, because I think there are people who are open to change and others who are not. And I would like to encourage those who are maybe not so open to change, that there is a way to be more open to that. So
when you're not open to change, or when you are more conservative, let's say, more attached to what you see in front of you or what you feel in that specific moment, in many cases, you are afraid of something. You're afraid of losing something, or you are afraid of finding yourself in a situation in which that you cannot handle. So I think that the first important thing is to create a secure base. What can happen if you change and if something goes wrong, that you make a mistake, for example. So you need to create an environment that accepts changes, but also gives security that any mistake or any inadequacy that can come during the change process is perfectly acceptable because it is part of the changing process. So I think that having a secure environment that accepts you and accepts your effort and supports you and your efforts is the very basic line to move more conservative people to do a first step towards something new. And this is, of course, very, I would say, easier in a business environment, because a supporting management or a supporting colleagues can help a lot on that. And companies can organize this security to prepare also those who are not so prompt to change to go into this direction. Mm-hmm. In a private life, as private individuals, this is a little bit more difficult, of course. But the basis is always the same. There is a fear of losing, a fear of being judged, a fear of making mistakes. And the way is psychologically, or become aware of this fear. Becoming aware of the fears that keeps us back from changes. This is already a first step. Then we can start living up some of our fears, and that would be possibly a second step to do that. But awareness, I would say, is the first step.
Reminds me a lot of very old wisdoms. I'm very interested in philosophy and also Eastern philosophy. And I recently heard a Zen monk speak about change. So he said, okay, life is change, so everything changes anyway. And if you don't want to change, then your task is actually trying to make the whole world stop changing.
Yeah, some of us have experienced in a family or in the close friendship circle, have experienced losses, people dying from one day to another.
What do you think did we learn, or should we learn, from the past few months?
Yeah. I think that we should learn the value of human connections, because we have missed it. In some of our countries, we were not even allowed to go out in the streets for some time in Europe. So I hope that all of us get a better feeling for how precious the freedom that we have is, the freedom to go out, the freedom to have everything at disposal. It's something that we have given for granted for a long time. And what I hope that we also learn is how to handle and how to give value to everything that is around us, and also to handle it with care, not consuming things, but giving value to what we receive and to what we can access.
Thank you.
This, I think it would be good if we manage to realize that. And I think that in all the months that have been without a cinema, without restaurants, I think that, and I hope that we have also had time to think and time to read and time to reflect. So time to spend on something which is not only a material entertainment.
You are so wise. With these words, we conclude the interview.